And that speaks to your program, because part of what separates the program that you've created from other coaching programs is that, and I've heard it called like the Clark Kent and the Superman, right? Like you have both sides. You have the traditional coaching elements,
yes,
right? You have the tools, you have all of that, but you speak to the energetics of it too. And you understand that it's not separate. We are energetic and physical beings.
Yes.
We're not physical beings. We're not only energetic beings. We've chosen to be both.
Yes.
And so we have to speak to both.
Yeah.
And so can you talk a little bit about that?
For days, I could talk about this.
Okay. So we don't have days, but we'll keep having you back and you can talk about it more.
Oh, this is so real, especially, I think a lot of light workers go through this now. And we were talking a little about this before we turn on the mics. I struggled with this several years ago after having huge awakenings, being on the spiritual journey, going through a huge, spiritual studentship, very formal studentship, studying under my teachers. I had a very big understanding of what we're doing here. And it can be very easy then to want to disconnect from this earth when you wake up. When you realize what's actually going on and that we are here having this human experience, because we're so sensitive, it's so easy to then want to say, I see you later. I just want to go play in the higher realms, play in the astral. And I went through this in 2017, really. I had a huge awakening and experience with this because I had a very deep desire to just go and shave my head, meditate, live on a mountain for the rest of my life, and not be connected to, society. And I had it reflected back to me. I had a big international speaking gig that was pulled because they said I was too spiritual. And they were basically afraid of what I was going to say on the stage. It was someone, it was other people's stuff coming up and some fear, but it was for a group of teenagers. And so they were like, wait a minute, like, hold on. And so it awakened that piece in me to look even deeper and go, okay, wait a minute, too spiritual. Like, what does that mean? And that to me was saying I couldn't connect to the exact people I knew I was here to reach. And so, that was the time where I was like, I want to go shave my head, live on a mountain. And I had a huge process. And I remember looking in the mirror and seeing my face, seeing the body I'd chosen for this life, seeing the highlights in my hair, the eyelashes, the nails done, and where I was planted on the earth in the middle of Phoenix, Arizona. And I thought about the family that I had, that I was born into, and all these pieces. And I realized this, through months, this took a time, but I realized that this process, this was A, not by accident, and B, this process I was going through was not to make me leave society. It was to help me bring this energy, this high frequency energy, into society. And this beautiful analogy channeled through in a session a year or so after that, after I had gone through my process on it, I realized, okay, I'm here. Like, I've chosen this body, this name, this person to be here for reasons that I may not fully understand yet, but I know I'm supposed to be here. Like, there's been no mistake. So this analogy that channeled through later that really helped me bring it full picture, it was in the middle of a session, and analogies, clairvoyant, a lot of energies come through in form of picture. And in this session, I was shown an image from that movie, which hopefully people still remember, the movie Apollo 13 with Tom Hanks. Okay, great. That movie, was about how they got in the spaceship and they left the atmosphere, and they were having struggle coming back into the atmosphere. And there's a line in there where the Houston commander says the challenge was that they had to hit the atmosphere at just the right angle. Otherwise, they were going to bounce right off. And that line channeled through in a session, and I was shown that. And that was the message that was being brought through by the guides at that moment. They said, your work as a being of light is not to just blast out of the atmosphere and stay out of the atmosphere. Your work is then to come back in and hit the atmosphere at just the right angle so you can come back in and help bring change from the inside out. And I was seeing at that time a lot of light workers. I was speaking to world changers all over the globe during a series I was doing. I spoke with 100 world changers in all corners of the globe. And I was seeing this theme where a lot of light workers were trying to bring their messages through and they were bouncing off the atmosphere. They weren't connecting, which had happened to me. I wasn't connecting. I was literally told, you can't connect here. You're too spiritual for these people. And it really made me realize in my own process, I gotta get some things that, connected here. I've got to get in and actually reach the people I know I'm here to reach. Yeah. So how do I do that? And I offer this code in now for light workers and world changers who are here to bring the light. Your work is to bring that energy, that high frequency energy that you can connect to, down in through the atmosphere now and bring it into this society in a way that connects, in a way that does get through, because that's the mission. Yes. Your mission is to hit the atmosphere at just the right angle. Otherwise you'll bounce right off. And so, I went and bought the movie after that and let myself really take in that message again and more fully, because it is so profound. And I think that is what we're doing here as heart leaders. We're here to bring this frequency into this world and human and connect. And I chose to, have the skill of coaching be the thing that I wanted to really focus in and learn and hone. And I realized that everyone is going through a spiritual awakening on earth, and connecting it to the skill of coaching to the transformational process was going to be a way that was going to connect here on the earth. And then I also chose to get it ICF accredited for that reason too, so that we can be, legitimate here and reach more people in that way.
I love it.
So I don't remember the question.
No, beautiful. No matter what, it was beautiful. How do people get a hold of you if they want to understand more about the programs that you do offer? Like, even if they just want to go through it for their own transformation, how do they get a hold of you?
I love that. Well, thank you for asking. WithHeartCommunications.com has information on our programs. You can reach me. You can also book sessions in there with me on that site. That is where you will learn about our courses. And our courses are designed to help conscious leaders, light workers, coaches, healers, people who are bringing light here to the planet. They know they're here to help facilitate change on the planet. Our tools help you connect. We have an intuition course that helps you connect to your intuition further. We have a course called Unshakable that helps you align to only the highest frequencies within you so you can be unshakable as a light worker and an empath in the world right now, because I know we all feel so much and there's so much energy flying around. Like, holy Christmas, how do you deal? Unshakable helps with that. And then we have our With Heart leadership training and our With Heart energy coaching certification as well, and our certificate in transformation as well. So there's some courses in there.
It's a lot. Can you talk about some of them so Sure. individuals would know, like, if I go there and I'm like, I have no idea where to even begin. Like, I've never done anything like this before, but I'm listening because I'm interested in self-love and I'm interested in transformation, like self-transformation. Where would I even start? Like, what's the first place I should go?
There's no prerequisite except a curiosity and a calling. And we find that those soul callings are usually the biggest sign. So listen to that nudge, listen to that intuition. If you're feeling like there's something here, if you're feeling like, wait a minute, there's more I need to learn, I want to lean in. We are a safe place, and we do help create a very safe and profound place. And it's very safe. We take you through everything. So it's not like you have to come knowing things. It's not like you have to have an awareness of your spiritual gifts. None of that. We help you tap in a very grounded and pragmatic way through exercises and programs and activities, and then our coach training that just take you into a deep dive into the transformational process that is within and waiting for you. We've got a very astute way of explaining it, a very clear way of understanding it for yourself, and then for others, and holding that space. So there's really no prerequisite. You don't have to know anything ahead of time. You just have to know you're here to bring light, and you're here to bring a different frequency, a different vibration to the planet, love. And we help you do it in a connected way, in a way that's practical, so that you can actually serve, bring your gifts to the world in a way that actually connects.
That's amazing. Yeah. Are there videos that people can explore and ways that they can get to know you a little bit?
Yes. Withheartcommunications.com is going to be our website. And then Instagram is a new business card. So you can check me out on Instagram. That's a quick way to find more. And we've just launched a YouTube channel as well, and my podcast as well, which is very closely linked to this, to the title of this one, the Next Conscious Leader podcast. We'll have all kinds of tools, and I call them codes. They're codes for transformation. They're codes for you and codes for light workers. So I very intentionally channel down energy updates and codes for conscious leaders, for beings here to help right now. And that are, codes that haven't been brought down in this way before, to help you learn to trust yourself, learn to love yourself, and, transform yourself compassionately. That's the secret ingredient, is that love. And how do you tap into it? What is it? How do you find it within yourself? Like we, kind of touched on. And how do you use it to transform? How do you use it for yourself? And, we've got some tools to help.